Joseph does Joseph does roll deep with Robert's Rules of Order.
Will be carried down to the next member?
Yeah, it would be for the seat and not the person. So if there's no other discussion and debate on this, I make a motion that we move forward and adopt the language of 8H as is and purchase Robert's Rules of Order for all our council members. With that, I call for the vote, Mr. Secretary. Yes.
Yes.
But I have one quick question. I know I'm sort of out of order, but are we purchasing it now or next budget?
Either way.
Either way, we just have
Next
to approve
budget's
it
better
first.
because we don't have enough money.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Continuing.
Given that this is another funding request,
I can't necessarily, that's why I said that.
Okay, so then just abstain from the vote.
no.
No, then just
Mark,
ineligible. Okay. Very good. So Hop, Maddie, and John are.
Maddie is fine.
Maddie's good. John is still ineligible. And Penelope.
can't either.
But we have Penelope
Expired too.
expired last month. Penelope will be ineligible, Camara will be ineligible, and Hop is ineligible. Yes, continue the vote, please, Mr. Secretary.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. 8I, the VNNC to purchase new microphones for the council chambers. The VNNC to purchase in the next coming fiscal year, if there's not enough money in this budget. The microphones will be used in all council meetings and special summits. Action item not to exceed $2,500. Do we have any discussion and debate on the microphones? Let's start with, let's go Miriam, Candy, James.
This is so important, because a lot of times I have trouble hearing the people, and the second thing is we want to make sure that these are secure and that nobody can take them and steal them again, because I don't want it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that we should have, I don't know, but there's the Prop 47. I hate to say this. If these mics are only worth $2,500, I hate to say it, it'd be just a slap on the wrist for anybody who steals them, because it'll be just a misdemeanor on Prop 47. What a
Good.
shame.
Thank you for the background on that.
So what do we do if they're stolen again?
My concerns are the same. What are we going to do, before we move on, what are we going to do to secure that? We need to make sure.
I believe the plan was to keep the microphones at Councilwoman Martinez's office and then have Guillermo bring them to the meetings.
I think that we decided that we were going to let Mr. Luna take them with him.
So, if I may, so I think what we kind of,
Here we go again.
what we ended up with is, it makes more sense to have either a person or a seat accountable for it.
Okay.
In a perfect world, this was the Senate, it'd be the Sergeant at Arms that has it. That doesn't work for this scenario. So whoever it turns out to be, the final thing will be, there's a specific person or a specific seat that's accountable for it. We'll know exactly who has it, and they'll be the one and only person that does have it.
Well, we haven't decided who that person
We haven't decided who it is, but that specific person will be accountable for it. That specific person or seat.
I hope we find that person before we buy it.
James and then this gentleman, Mr. Piper.
Are they going to be on like a signature card saying that they have?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Suggestion, put a chip in one of them and don't tell anybody which one's got it.
Fair enough.
The chip is too expensive.
I don't know how much they are, but,
It's about $500 for a chip and then a tracking device.
So with this vote, we also should appoint somebody to be in charge of the microphones. Do you object to being you, Mr. Luna? Okay?
Just know that at some point, it's not gonna be me. So at some point, we'll have to just
Pass the torch.
pass it.
Fair enough. So,
Would have been a good idea to leave it with the council person's office.
yes, Candido.
Will that also include a carrying case to make sure that they're all secure?
Howard, can we get
They'll
a,
be in a whole box. Penny, I'm looking at your funding here, and your funding is
Expired.
on 8/23/13. So that means that it's not up until 8.
What about her ethics? So she's still good? It's ethics.
It's ethics.
Ethics is every 2 years. All right, so I make a motion that we adopt the language in 8I as is to buy the microphones and appoint our vice parliamentarian, Mr. Luna, to be in charge of them. Do I have a second?
Second.
With that, I call for the vote, Mr. Secretary. Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Microphone funding. Aye. She was.
Wait, that's more money again.
Oh yes, she's ineligible.
Oh, it's just discussion?
Yeah.
No. She's ineligible to vote.
Why if I-
She's ineligible to
Oh,
vote.
you can vote anyhow.
Okay, so yeah. Money, yeah.
Penelope.
Yes.
Yes.
Shadow. It's a funny thing. So,
Mr. De La Cuesta. Aye. Ms. Madden.
Yes.
Mr. Lynn. Mr. Black.
Funding on microphones. Yes. Mr. Lynn votes aye.
Okay, Mr. Luna.
Yes.
Mr. Robbins.
Yes.
Mrs. Geary. Okay, passes.
Very good. 4 more things.
If I can interject here, and I know it's after the thing. I need a directive from this board where you want these purchased.
Bolivia.
China.
The cheap place.
Madagascar.
Well, there's 2 places I can buy it from. I can buy them locally from either Sam Ash or Guitar Center. They're $169 a piece. I might be able to get them for $99 a piece. That's debatable. But the base is an additional charge of probably around $60. So any way you look at it, it's going to be $169 a piece. If you bought 10 of them, that would be $1,695. If we buy 12, which is what we're trying to buy, we're going to come close to the $2,000 mark. We're still underneath it.
We're
If
gonna
I
need to
buy
buy
them from
the
China,
container.
I can get them for $69
With the base?
with the base and the cord and everything else. But my problem is that I'm going to have to figure out a way to pay for them. That's the problem.
Can the VNNC not write a check to?
We can write a check, and we can send a check.
Oh, but it's out of the country.
Well,
It's out of the-
I don't think they're going to accept PayPal. I don't know. I'll contact the guy tomorrow morning with it. You can't use, okay, so we can't use PayPal.
You can write a check, you can send him a check.
We can send them a
Benjamin.
check. I just, I'm kind of leery on sending a check to China, I'm just,
Buy stuff from China.
oh,
We're not
even
supposed to do
better.
that, Ted.
I mean, they're infinitely better. They're $300 microphones I'll be getting for $69 from China. And I know they're knockoffs, but it doesn't really matter.
Howard,
I
can you
mean,
just
this
write a
company
check
is.
yourself and we'll reimburse you?
Oh, God, you're asking
No,
for an act of God.
I'd be waiting until the cows came home.
Yeah, he is.
Like the
No,
DJ from
but-
Hemet.
But I'd get in trouble, and I don't care, I get in trouble all the time.
Well,
Right, right
well,
here, right here it
let,
says, I don't
what's
know.
the consensus of the board? What do you want me to do?
I would not object to buying locally and having an additional expense because we know that money is here in the community and you're not going to have the problem with international currency.
Candido.
Mr. President, listen, we're spending taxpayer dollars, and if you can
Yes, ma'am.
Well, not only that, but it doesn't matter where we buy them.
Okay.
They're all made in China anyhow.
Okay, so find a way of purchasing
You know,
from
We
China.
can buy them on the corner.
Let's vote on
They're
it and
still
go.
made in China.
But I think the issue is
I
the
know.
Oh,
international
no.
currency and the way that the county and
Yeah, see, therein lies the problem.
So is maybe we make an attempt on China, and if that doesn't go through, we do Plan B with Sam Ash.
I'll-
Try either or.
James Piper.
No, no. I wish, but no, no. Short of taking
They have
a
a Chinese
flight
restaurant.
to Hong Kong, I don't know what. Glenn, what's your thoughts on this thing?
You don't have to-
You know what, so first of all, you can't use PayPal, that's a
We know that.
city policy.
Yeah.
If you, you might just check out, I know that the department itself, when we bought the video recording cameras for the budget advocates and for the Congress, we went through a New York something another, which was the place you order from for China, wherever it
Right.
was. So we weren't dealing with China, we were dealing with somebody in the United States.
Right, right. I mean, they might be just a brokerage company or God
Yeah,
knows what,
exactly.
you know.
Yes.
they-
So, and then my neighborhood council, we purchased from Guitar Center in Northridge for our microphones.
Mhm.
But I think you're looking for a very, you want a replaceable material, which were excellent, so.
Yeah, and these are better than the ones that were here.
What?
Yep.
I have a Sam Ash and a Guitar Center credit card.
No, I do
I don't
too,
want all
I do
that
too. You know, let me, I want to move on this so that.
So why don't we vote on the funding and then figure out the logistics
All
later?
right.
I would try, I mean, I realize time is short, but, you know, I think that the bank card protects you a little more, so you can use that. It's just you'll need to put in the paperwork to get the extension for above the $1,000 limit, if you buy more than $1,000 in one purchase.
Well, you can't, no, the credit card has a limit of $500 per
It
day.
increased to $1,000
When was this?
several months ago.
Oh, that's better.
They held us ransom for we were over $5 2 months ago, and they said no.
As of March.
We're very special.
They didn't want to do it because they didn't.
They did, this was in April. Well, again, we're not
They don't
supposed to
like
make
split
two
payments
payments,
either.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we're not supposed to do split payments. They're really strict on a lot of that stuff. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, we can iron out the logistics
I did make
and
one mistake, if you know what I mean, and,
We hear about it for a year later.
yeah.
so without further ado, I make the motion that we adopt the language in 8I as is, an action item not to exceed $2,500, and we iron out the details after.
Okay, seconded. Let's
With
go.
that, okay, I call for the vote, Mr. Secretary, on 8I. Mm. We did Robert's Rules of Order. We voted on the microphones? Oh, and then, okay, very good. I apologize. Moving on. 8J, the VNNC to use any leftover money from the budget this year to fund the Congress of Neighborhood Councils and the budget advocates, splitting it 50-50 if there is any money left over. Thank you, Mr. Robbins, for bringing this up. Let's. I make a motion we adopt the language in 8J just to be on the safe side. In case there is $7 left over, we can go 350, 350. There's going to be nothing. Good. Well, then you did your job. But to be on the safe side, I make a motion we adopt the language in 8J. With that, I call for the vote, Mr. Secretary. Yes.
Yes.
Treasurer Hop.
I think Bailey wants to
Oh,
say
Treasurer, off
something.
what?
Oh, Mr. Bailey.
I don't know, I thought it was asking me for.
Sorry, I didn't raise my hand fast enough. So it's great. However, you have to figure out a way to put a not to exceed dollar amount in. So I understand what you want to do. Whatever's left over, you want to do that. just put in a number, and then when you fill out the form, and I have a copy of the form here for, I guess Jeanette's going to be doing this.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, right now, we got zip zilch nada left over. We don't even
Okay,
have enough.
all I'm suggesting is the department has already put it out in writing. Do not put, you have to have some dollar. It's great to say whatever's left, and then just say not to exceed. That way you put a dollar amount in, okay? And if it ends up being $1, it's $1. So here's the form.
All right, so then let's suspend that vote, and I make a motion that we adopt the language in 8J with the addition of the not to exceed $1,000.
Second.
With that, I call for the vote, Mr. Secretary.
I'm telling you, we haven't got it. I'm kiting now.
Yes.
Yeah, kiting is illegal, you know. Just being honest.
It's 10:15. We're in the middle of the vote. Yes, sir, Mr. Secretary.
Yes. Treasurer, Secretary Henry, aye. Treasurer Hunt.
I can't vote
She
on it.
can vote. Okay, just reminding me. Ms. Meyer? Mr. Reservis? Yes. Mr. Horton? Yes. Rivera? Okay, yes. Mr. Delacuesta? Yes. Ms. Patton?
Yes.
Mr. Williams? Yes. Mr. Lugar?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mrs. Garrett? Passes.
Very good. 8K, the VNNC to submit a community impact statement and direct letter to the Community College Board about the preservation of the Pierce College Farm. The VNNC to use the language from Mr. Glenn Bailey and to officially go on record about the Pierce College Farm.
Yes.
Mr. Bailey, you got language for us? 2 or 3 sentences we can use? I would love 1 sentence. Save the farm, period. That's easy enough. The Van Nuys Neighborhood Council is.
So, have you had a presentation on this subject previously?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the foundation, the Pierce College Foundation, which is the group that helps the college and tries to raise money that's outside of what the college district does, has adopted a resolution that they have forwarded to the college administration and to the Board of Trustees, which in 1 sentence basically says that to support, and so this is my suggestion for you, that you support the Pierce College Foundation recommendation for a conservation easement on the Pierce College farm land, period.
It sounds
Yes.
poetic to me.
Okay, and just, yes, to explain it, is if there is a conservation easement, and I think actually maybe the proper language is agricultural easement, but the intent is the same, which is the land remains, it would always be owned by the college district, although they have the ultimate authority to what happens with the ownership of the land, but it could never be developed for, like some of the proposals have been made in the past, such as condominiums, et cetera. And it would then have to be used forever for the agricultural purposes. And the reason that the foundation did this is they've had some major corporations that are in the field, and I don't want to mention names. I heard them at the meeting. They are major corporations that were talking about major money, like millions of dollars, that they wanted to donate, but because of the uncertainty of the farm, they were unwilling to donate it as a endowment type of a contribution to the college. So the foundation was trying to figure out a way to to get past that, and they've consulted with the Trust for Public Lands, and and they came and met with them, and that was their recommendation, is to try to get this conservation or agricultural easement on the farmland area, so that the potential donors, and they're in the field. I mean, it's not, but it could be a company like Sunkist, for example. But people who are in that particular type of business that wanted to donate the money would have a high confidence level that the farm would be there forever.
Fair enough. Maddie?
So I wholeheartedly support this effort and support the foundation's conservation efforts. This board on Thursday voted aid for the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. This board has voted for the creation of a sustainability committee that supports our climate change laws. Ag is getting hammered with regards to cap and trade monies that are being allocated to support agriculture. Last year, almost $1 billion, only $5 million was allocated to protect ag in the entire state of California. If we're going to stay consistent with the votes that this board has taken, I highly recommend that you vote in support of this effort.
Fair enough. Glenn, can you email me that exact language? What you just said? No, it was to support the Pierce College Foundation for the conservation easement, as recommended by the Pierce College Foundation.
I'll give you that, essentially that word.
Perfect. I make a motion we adopt that language and go on record as supporting saving the Pierce College farm.
Seconded.
With that, I call for the vote, Mr. Secretary. Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
She can vote.
I can vote for
Oh,
that.
yeah. It's not funny. Yes.
You're a Brahmin?
Yes. Ms. Patton?
Yes.
Miss Meyer?
Yes.
My vote is aye. This chapter is second.
You did. Yeah, you did, Manny.
Penelope? Aye? Penny votes yes. Penny votes yes. Very good. The VNNC to discuss possible software purchases for flyers, agendas, and other miscellaneous marketing material. I think in the interest of time, we could bump this till next month. I do appreciate whoever did the research on this. Was that? Then, Mr. Luna, let's have at it. What did you find out?
I've researched different solutions for desktop hosting. These include free and paid-for software, computer-based online, Windows, and Mac. I presented the list of software that I researched to the Secretary, and my findings to the Secretary, the Vice President, and the Secretary. I'll briefly go over what I discovered. The four that were mentioned were Adobe Professional. It's a great software for editing documents like PDFs, not as good for creating documents. Adobe Photoshop is industry standard photo editing, but it's not great for creating documents. Corel WordPerfect, it's very similar to Microsoft Office 360, just like Microsoft Publisher. Adobe InDesign has the most professional looking results. There's a learning curve, however, there's a ton of literature, there's a ton of YouTube videos. My official recommendation is to continue using the current software for creating agendas and flyers and such. When there's a change in leadership, then at that time we should look more closely at licenses for Adobe InDesign. If this council would like to purchase a single license for an individual to assist in making documents, my recommendation is to purchase a month-to-month license for Adobe InDesign for $14.99 per month.
Very good.
Sounds good.
Very good, Mr. Luna. Thank you for the hard work on that.
Yes, sounds good.
As we are slowly moving along just fine with this, I concur that we continue on as we are, and as we get closer to the leadership changes that we're having because of term limits, that we purchase Adobe InDesign. It's what I use now to do the agendas, and I'd be more than happy to train the future presidents and vice presidents and et al. So thank you, Mr. Luna, for that. And yes, we're going to keep on keeping on, as they say. It is tabled till yes, until until Halloween. And then our final one, 8M, the VNNC to submit a CIS from Vank and Glenn Bailey to allow extra time for neighborhood council members to speak longer during public comment periods. This would allow additional time before the city council for members of the NC system and would be an amendment to the 2-minute rule now set in place. That language was already floated by Mr. Wesson, was it not?
Correct.
And that came out of his education.
I have a copy of his motion. I'll distribute.
Beautiful. So if it pleases the board, I would be happy to adopt this language and go on record.
Could I just
Glenn, you have the floor. Sir.
request a inclusion in your motion that you reference council file number 150389. That's the number in the upper right corner of the motion.
Yes.
Miriam, I'm going to give you a copy. How about that?
That's a good idea there, Mr. Bailey. That's the way to do that.
Just so everyone's clear, Council President Wesson has has made 2 motions. This motion is the first one he made, and it's specifically, did everyone get a copy?
Yes.
Everyone got a copy? Okay. I have some more if someone needs one. This one specifically deals with the issue of official positions of neighborhood councils and being able to give more time. He has a second motion that you may hear about that made reference to this subject, as well as other issues such as rollover funding, etc. But this is the one that's just on this issue, and it is very timely because they held a hearing last month on this. They gave a 30-day period for a report back by the department. So you're taking action tonight and filing a community impact statement is wonderful because it will likely then appear before the next time this comes up, which was supposed to have been next week, but I heard they just canceled that Education and Neighborhoods Committee. So it'll be coming up shortly, soon, exactly. Exactly. So just in one sentence, this is for city council, council committees, boards and commissions of official positions of neighborhood councils and the alliances, what we're hoping for. So you're not stuck with just the 1 or 2 minute public comment if it's the official position of your neighborhood council. This would be really helpful, especially in your planning and land use matters, where you'll probably be the only neighborhood council, speaking on that particular land use matter because it's in your neighborhood council, no other. But it's more complicated than just 1 or 2 minutes. So the other thing that we're asking for is to have a seat at the table. Just like other city departments, when they come up before the governing body, the other departments, planning, Department of Transportation, city attorney, they're all sitting there. And they sit there and they talk and they get questions asked and answered for as long as the governing board wants them. And we're asking the neighborhood council also be given a seat at the table as well.
Fair enough.
If you want to include that in your motion, that would be great. But otherwise, the important thing is, taking action to support this council file and filing your community impact statement.
Has a time frame been established that it would be 5 minutes or 8 minutes? Or?
No. His wording on his motion you have before you says sufficient, but
vague.
all of the discussions that we've heard so far have been 5 minutes. However, but the only wording that's official is the word sufficient. The question has arisen is what if there's an issue that lots of neighborhood councils show up there for, and so don't expect that all 96 neighborhood councils are going to be getting 5 minutes each. They're not, right? But and that's part of this report back that's being worked on now by the department that we're trying to do some influence, including tomorrow night at Bank, anyone who's attending, is
Mr. Henry will be there.
If there's several neighborhood councils, let's say 5 neighborhood councils that have an interest in the issue, they may come up with the rules like, okay, you get 10 minutes, you work out amongst yourself how you organize that presentation.
Very good. Yes, ma'am.
On Thursday, we did a community impact statement that was filed with the city clerk about 10 days later, and it was not on official letterhead. It was the draft that I had submitted. If we're going to be doing these community impact statements, we've corresponded, I and the vice president, about authorizing more than one board member to produce and process the CIS. I'd like to bring that up to the board and offer that service
Well, the actual act of turning in a community impact statement is through their website, so there would be no letterhead, but I would be happy to mail in a hard copy, snail mail one in on letterhead. I think that's a good idea.
One of the things, like for instance, Mar Vista, an example that I sent you, Mar Vista does, they don't do a letter, different neighborhood councils have different ways, so you can look at the email example. The Mar Vista group, they just post their minutes, and their minutes suffices, but it still looks professional. It's on their letterhead, and it makes it look presentable and professional. So I don't have a preference, and it's up to the board to determine how to do that, but we do need to have some sort of logo and some sort of way of demonstrating that it's an official document from this board.
So you're both correct. There are 4 ways to submit a community impact statement. The one that the city clerk prefers is the online version, and only the people up to 5 who've been given the password have been able to submit that. However, it allows attachments. So one of the attachments could be something on letterhead, but what the city clerk goes by is the 100-word summary of your position, which is the date, that sort of thing, and then you attach whatever else you want to attach. Of course, you can email it in, you can fax it in, and you can snail mail it, and you can hand deliver it. I guess there's 5 ways to get it there. But the city clerk really prefers the online electronic because that's more
Expeditious.
it's less likely there'll be a human oversight of not connecting it to the proper council file. But I think your point. There is. Right, but then there's a place that you can continue on, and you also have the ability to submit additional attachments. So if you have a longer, so my suggestion is, this would be a good thing for your standing rules and a policy as far as how you best do it. Obviously, some things are very short and some are more complicated. Things that are more complicated, you'd probably want to send in the attachments as opposed to trying to squeeze it in the character limitation box.
That almost every sample I looked at use is that they do a short, brief summary in the box in the field that you're referring to, and then what they attach is a letter or their minutes on their letterhead as
Okay.
the attachment.
That would be that's up to the neighbor council.
Very good. We can discuss the procedures in which we submit these, but the motion on the floor right now is whether or not to adopt the language in Council File 150389. I don't see why not. Miriam.
Well, no, we're going to have a speak first.
All right.
I know you guys are going to be supporting this, and I know very much I do support neighbor councils, but there also should be input from the force. We've been losing rights. We used to be able to speak on 5 minutes, the same thing as what you're trying to gain over me, because I'm not a neighbor council member. Okay, I feel this is unconstitutional, and I will fight it.
Very good. Thank you.
It takes me 2 hours to get down there, and I'm already cut down to 1 minute on public comment, and 1 minute public comment. So I hate to see another person who happens to come in for public comment, who happens to be in the neighborhood council, and speak for 5 minutes.
Very good. Do we have any additional discussion and debate on Council File 150389er?
No, but before everybody runs out, I want to remind you really quick, we still have to let the 2 budget riffs, and I still have some funding issues that have to be.
Okay, well, let's get through 8M. Do I have a motion that we adopt the language in 150389? Very good. I call for the vote. Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
He voted aye.
You said
Walked
aye.
out the door.
You said aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so we'll do one final act of city business. It's in my power as the council president to appoint the 2 budget representatives. I spoke with Derek, and he was not interested in being the budget rep again. So if anybody else would want it besides Jeanette, is there anybody on the council that would like to be a budget representative? Jeanette, what goes on?
Actually, I can tell you that it's a lot of work. You're down there
Oh, forget it.
practically every single week, sometimes 3 times a week. Miriam, relax. I will get to you in a second. If there are not 2 people that want to do it on the board, you are permitted to have a person in the audience, and that person does not have to be in your jurisdiction, but comes to your meetings all the time. So she's eligible actually to be a budget rep. And what she does is when she goes down there, I don't think she's going to want to run for budget advocate, but she then helps elect the budget advocates, and she gets to be their budget day, hear the mayor's current budget as he's whittled it down and what he's going to say, like our 1.4 million, 1.4 billion for the street maintenance is whittled down to next to nothing because it's over 30 years, that kind of stuff. So you're involved in a lot of meetings, you go to all the departments, you talk to department heads and to the supervisors, you talk to the mayor, you talk to his chief, and by the way, his chief that I love just left. I'm really sad, but he's got other good people. So it's a lot of work, but it's also educational. I'm selling it, yeah. Well, it's a lot of work, but I enjoy
Are you on commission for this?
I know. It's
What's your percentage? 25% of the house take, sound about right?
Yeah, but no, under the table, am I being paid? I wish. Hey, Glenn, did we get paid for all that hard work? No.
Candido, did you want me to appoint you as the budget? Okay, I make an official appointment.
I want to compliment this young lady. She's always trying to, some way, help.
That's true. We would not have gotten the new chairs without the squeaky hinge. Does anybody want? Okay, so Maddie wants to be the budget rep. I saw your hand go up. Madam Treasurer, is there anybody else? Is there anyone you'd like to carpool with downtown, or?
I can do it, but I don't want to be ending up
Now
driving
that
them.
she doesn't listen, so listen up here. That's your problem. I am going to suggest that you appoint Miriam because she comes all the time.
Miriam.
She really wants to work. She may not be able to go every single time, but it's okay because I've got her covered by phone in case she can't. So we're okay. We just need the 2 people to go. Budget day, Miriam, the 27th of June. You do have to be there.
Do we have?
Fair. But if
Miriam has been at more council meetings than all of us combined, and we're on the council.
Right.
Do we have any objections to have the great and honorable Miriam? Miriam, would you want to serve?
I'd like to be
Miriam, come on up here. For you guys who haven't met her, this is Miriam
I can do
Fogler.
it on a limited basis because I have feet problem. I have neuropathy in my feet, and if
You
I
have
can get somebody to help me drive,
Okay, all right. All right, well,
I'm very limited in being able to get
you
around.
wanted to.
I don't mind doing it, but I just want to be able to let you know that I have trust.
Mr. Luna, you want to run against Miriam for this? Yes, okay.
You can do it at the microphone.
I'm giving her something.
Is this something that you would make time for? Like, is this something that you would actually do?
Miriam would find the time to serve in this post, absolutely.
I will try to fit it in, but I can't promise every moment because I might have a problem with my feet.
Miriam goes to Vegas quite
If
a
I
bit,
can
though.
have somebody help drive me around, that'll be fine.
Well,
And I have Donna can help me. Donna can help me too.
I have the parking pass, Miriam.
oh,
You'll be okay.
the motley crew from Van Nuys, California.
Yeah, but I can't.
And deal with, the mayor's office and stuff like that?
On our behalf?
I just
No,
want to
no, no,
know
no,
if she's,
no, no,
I don't
no.
want to push her and encourage
No,
her or something.
no, no, no. wait.
I can't stand.
Budget reps are only going down for budget day and to elect the budget advocates. Once the budget advocates are elected, they're the ones that have to do all that. The budget reps do not, but they do have to report back to this group, and generally speaking, I will do that, but sometimes she can do that. So she
Well,
will.
I feel like Miriam reports back to us anyway. So,
I'll let you know. I'll do.
Miriam, if I appoint you, will you serve? Yes or no?
I'll try it. I'll see how.
Okay. Do we have any objections to Miriam serving as our budget representative? Anybody on the board want going once? All right. So, in my power,
He won't guilt John, your mother's ill, and you can't.
in my power as the council president, it is my honor and privilege to appoint Jeanette Hopp and Miriam Fogler as our budget representatives. Miriam! Make us proud, Miriam. Hey, give them hell, Harry. All right, so one final update from Jeanette, and then we're out of here, guys. Jeanette, you have the floor.
We just need to know how much money you want to put into, okay, we got $9.99 for the one. Which one is that for?
You pay for your lunch,
What was G? I don't know. Okay. G is police station. Okay, we agreed to $9.99 for the beautification project. 'Cause
Correct.
that's just for now, and then we'll give them more later, contingent upon the fact that they have to put a plaque up. It says not to exceed $9.99
We know
for
that one.
LAPD budget beautification.
Next one.
Contingent upon, well,
Next one.
they weren't
That's
here,
been
they need to
voted.
know, because now they can vote.
No, I can't.
No, they can't vote. No, they can't vote. We already voted. All right. Anyway, that's one. Then we needed to know how much were we going to give, if we're going to give, to the Van Nuys High School for their metal shop.
Wasn't that 2,500?
That's what they wanted. Are we gonna?
What's your recommendation, Treasurer?
My recommendation was to give them 2 even, so we had enough to go around, but if you guys want to do 25, it's up to you, not me.
2,000?
2,000 even.
Okay, so we haven't voted on this, so I make a motion that we fund Van Nuys High School $2,000 and use the old business, the old language that was on the agenda from before.
All the paperwork's in, correct, Jeanette?
Yes.
With that, Mr. Luna seconds it. I call for the vote on the VNHS.
Except for me.
Van Nuys High School, $2,000. Right?
Yes.
Jeanette, do you have any more?
Yes, I also have the 2 for
We-
$999.
No. Do you have a form? A voting form?
What
A
form?
voting form?
Yeah, I only have a couple here. I'm taking them down because I need to happen to go with this.
Well, he's run out.
Well, I can't give him.
Is the UPS store
If I
open?
give him
No,
mine,
they
I won't
closed.
have them for the actual vote for the, that I need to submit.
Do you have any extras?
I've got. I've got
If
one more.
if it's unanimous,
Let me see if I can.
Hang on. Let's see. I might have one, just a second.
thank you, James.
Feel free.
Well, I got my husband's.
Well, that was okay, good. I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, he can take,
This is my husband's city pen, because I don't have one.
yeah. Pass this
Howard, do you
down.
have a city pin for Miriam now?
I hope Eric or City's not gonna get back to us.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that, but we'll find out. Now that you're a rep-
We may have burned that bridge.
Who might get an impact statement from him? A negative one.
No. We're just getting started, Peter.
I don't have them.
Okay, we could do unanimous consent on the vote. Right, okay, so we're voting on the $2,000 for Van Nuys High School.
Yes.
All right,
Pay attention, folks.
the motion is to fund Van Nuys High School $2,000 using the exact language that was on the agenda in old business from before. And Mr. Luna seconded the motion.
Thank you, Jeanette, for the shirt.
We're in the middle of a vote here.
Yes.
Okay, Vice President Bennett.
Yes.
Okay, Secretary Henry. Aye.
Got to pass it.
She can't. Ms. Meyer. Yes. Mr. Lazare. Yes. Mr. Martin.
Yes.
Mr. Kamara.
You can't vote. Yeah, same place, same as me. Sorry, baby.
Mr. Dale Questa.
Thank you.
Ms. Patton.
She left.
She left.
Look at this, Donna, how nice that is. Look at how nice that is.
Mr. Moody.
Yes.
Mr. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Deary.
Yes.
Okay, passes. Okay, it passes. Are we adjourned?
I got 10. How many did you get?
We need 10, we need 11.
Okay, who's the 11th person? All right, I have you, I have Howard.
11, we have 11.
We have 11.
All right, so what's the final funding vote, Jeanette? Let's get out of here.
Wait a minute. All right, you have yes from,
I got it, it was Penny.
We got it, we got it.
All right, one more. It's for Community Alcohol and Drug Treatment Foundation, and that one, we already have the one for Sandy's group. This is another one, and it's for $999 also.
And all their paperwork's in just fine?
Everything's here. Yeah.
I make a motion that we adopt the funding for the $9.99 for the Community Alcohol
drug.
Prevention Council.
Yeah, it's the Community Alcohol and Drug Treatment Foundation.
There it is. With that, I call for the vote. Mr. Luna seconded it. Yes.
Yes.
She can't vote on funding.
What is that?
Who did you say next?
Penny Meyer.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Before you guys go, I think there's one more.
Is there another one, Jeanette?